Okay. We will go ahead and call the Board of Works and Safety meeting to order. It is June 11th at 5:04 p.m. Roll call, please.
Weigel.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Daniel.
Here. In front of you are the minutes from our last meeting on May 28th. I did send a couple of changes or corrections over to Rosie today. I think there was a misspelling in there. There was an extra space in one. Thank you. Yep, I think it was those two things. Misspelling of Savannah's name and space. Any other changes or corrections? Okay, I'll make a motion. We approve the minutes with the noted changes.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is the encroachment agreement for 108 South Washington Street. Come on up. Come on up. I need your name and address, please.
Mark Frankart, 108 South Washington Street, Columbia City, Indiana.
Okay. And so we got the picture here for what I think you're planning to do, but will you just describe it for us for the record?
We are planning on, from the house, looking at the front of the house, replacing the fencing that just runs this way and then it runs this way.
Towards the street.
Towards the street.
With vinyl, not,
Yeah, with vinyl.
there's already a wood fence there.
You currently have wood?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're changing it to vinyl?
Yes.
So that basically lines up with the front of your house over to the property line and then down toward the street, right?
Yes.
So just an L shape. effectively.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's it, nothing else?
That's it,
Nothing else.
no, nothing else.
Okay, okay.
We're trying to dress up the front of the house.
Yeah, that makes sense, that makes sense. Any concerns with utilities there? No?
No.
No, okay. Questions for the Frankarts? Okay, then I will tell you what we always say is that for some reason our utilities do have to get in there, we will let you know in advance if we can. If we don't, we will remove that as softly as we can. It'll be up to you to replace it.
We just had 811.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's nothing there.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so they're not, they're, oh, I see.
It's the black line that goes across and then.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I did not see that.
That's okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the encroachment agreement for 108 South Washington Street as presented.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. So, Rosie, tell them what's next.
Okay, we'll get this back to the planning commission tomorrow,
Okay?
to the planning office, and then you just need to go back over there and finish. what needs to be
Get our
Okay.
permit. Okay,
All right.
all right.
Hey.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Easy enough.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right,
Nice and
thank
easy
you.
for
All right, see you
Have a
next
good
time.
night.
You too.
Thank you. Next up is street closing requests in front of us. The first one is a foundation repair. They're on Main Street. I will tell you, as noted there, that the police chief and I both gave approval. I did see that they're still working there, although the alleyway was not blocked today. So I'm assuming that that means they're either close to or are done blocking the alley, but nevertheless, I would ask for approval retroactively on the street closing permit. It's really an alley closing for 306 North Main.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
That looked like a heck of a job.
They were digging pretty. There was a lot of project going on there. That's for sure. Okay, next up is the street closing permit for Movie on the Square 2024. Since I submitted it, I will decline voting on this, but I just want to let you know this is our normal Movie on the Square that happens between the Columbia City Connect and my office. It's a yearly event, and this is pretty well straightforward as it normally is, which is just to basically close off Chauncey Street from Van Buren to Market. The county commissioners have already given approval to have the movie on the courthouse square, so that's no problem. We'd like to keep Chauncey Street closed during that time because of people utilizing our restrooms back and forth, and some of the people do tend to sometimes sit in the street, although it's not as prevalent. But any questions regarding the street closing permit? Okay.
Move that we approve it, the street closing permit for Movie on the Square on September 6th, 9 to midnight.
I will second.
I have a motion and second, further discussion. All those in favor show by the usual sign, and I will abstain, so Lisa and Dan approve. Next up is the Family Safety Fest street closing permit. This is part of the Summer in the City program that my office is putting on, really Ashley's putting on. This is in conjunction with both of our public safety departments, but I know that Trent Stanford from our fire department's really been one of the main leaders of it, if you will. I know we're utilizing multiple departments and other agencies that are going to be a part of this project or this festival. I think we had it last year and it was moderately successful, but based on what we're getting, based on what kind of input and participation we're getting, this is going to be significantly larger than what we've done in the past. So, with that,
I'll make a motion to approve the street closing August 10th for Family Safety Festival.
Second.
I have a motion and second on the Family Safety Festival. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. Lisa and Dan approve, and I'll abstain as well on that one. Okay, thank you. Next up is the pay request for Donahue. Let me get to that real quick. And that would be for Mike Cook.
This is for first pay request for the phase 3 of our SCADA project we've been working on for the last several years. I've given my recommendation that they accept this request for $42,250.
Okay? Questions of Mike? Hearing none, I'll make a motion we approve the request, invoice number 14412-01 in the amount of $42,250.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is the Wake Contracting final payment for the bathroom renovations. Mike?
This project is 100% complete. There is one item that we're waiting for the plumber to come in and fix. They had to order a part for that. Other than that, it is done. This is a final pay request, so it'd be my recommendation that we honor their request of $15,806.50. I should close that project out.
Is there any value at all, or is there any rationale or reason for us to hold back just until that last part comes in, or you don't think so?
No, it's from a local plumber, Flowtech, so
Oh,
it
okay.
shouldn't be an issue.
Gotcha. Okay. That's helpful to know it's from the local.
Yeah, it's just a minor. And I will say that this company is out of New Haven,
Yep.
but all his subs were from Columbia City.
Okay. Great. So locals were really doing the job.
Correct.
Yep.
They were doing the, other than some of the installs, but it was local plumbing and local electrical.
Cool. Great. Any questions, comments, concerns? I'll make a motion, we approve the final payment request for Wake Contracting in the amount of $15,806.50. As presented. Seconded by Dan. Further discussion? All those in favor should be the usual sign. It is unanimous. Let's see. While we're at it, Mike, let's go ahead and talk about your other two things that you put into the Dropbox, or it's been put into the
Just
Dropbox.
put in, or
Let's-
you also want to do the pump quote first? Because that's on the agenda on there.
I'm sorry, the what is on the agenda?
There is a
Oh, is that the
pump base.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
We
that
can do
one,
that.
and then there's two other ones that were put in there too.
Okay, so the last two pages of your report, first one is the API, correct?
Correct.
And then the other one is the Schubert?
Yes,
So
and we
what's the-
requested one from Havel, and they were non-existent
They
on it.
declined.
They came out, looked at it, but never sent us a proposal, so it just tells that they didn't want it. So we did go for 3, but we only received 2.
Okay. And talk to us about this project.
This is one that I talked about the last couple of meetings that I was getting quotes on. The pump had went bad at the 600 East lift station, so we had to buy a new pump, which obviously we had to get a new base because new pumps won't sit on the old base. So we had the base in, and this company will actually come in and do all the work and install that new base so we can put the new pump in, is what this is for.
Okay. And looks like you got two different quotes.
Yes.
And so what would be your recommendation?
After talking with my guys, we used Schubert on our flow meter, our sludge return flow meter, and they done a really good job of installing that. Some of the guys that work for this company, they worked for a different company before, Mason Engineering, and we've used them to do this particular job right here, and they do a phenomenal job. So by talking with our guys and the experience that we've had with the people that's going to be on this job, it's our recommendation to go with Schubert, which is a cheaper quote. They're only $30,967 compared to
35.
API's is $35,000. So,
Any questions for Mike? I'll make a recommendation, we approve proposal number EST 2411 with Schubert Treatment Solutions in the amount of $30,967.49.
I'll second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. In your Dropbox, we'll do the mower quotes first, and then the kitchen reno next. Let me see it. It should be in that same Dropbox. Dan, why you gotta be so challenging sometimes?
I saw it coming earlier.
Wastewater quotes, here we go. Okay, here we go. Is that the bottom?
Yep,
Nope,
I
you're
got
good.
it.
Okay, so we're gonna do mower first. Mike?
all right, got two quotes here. Got one from Kubota Moore Farm Store here locally, and then we got one from Greenmark, which we bought some equipment from Greenmark, so we had them quote it. There's not a whole lot of difference in pricing. The Kubota is $12,074.25, and the John Deere came in at $12,700. We were considering the John Deere simply because we've had several Kubotas, so we were considering the John Deere, try something different. What changed our mind is we asked for a demo of the mower we purchased, and they told us they didn't have one. They had no interest in trying to find one for us to demo. The best we got is the guys could come over and drive something around in Warsaw.
Okay.
So apparently they don't want to sell some more very bad, so my recommendation is to go with the Kubota from Moore Farm Store for $12,074.25, and we are trading in a 2014 mower that has a cab, a mower deck, and a rotating brush that we used to use to clean out the parking lots and stuff, but it's such a hassle to change in between the brush and the mower. There's a whole nother attachment that you have to put on before you can even put the brush on. The cab, it's easier with the cab off than it is the cab, so this won't have a cab or anything like that, so they are giving us
12,000.
$12,000 for that and the $3,453 in incentive, so
Yeah.
that'd be my recommendation to go with the Kubota.
Cheaper price, better trade-in. Basically, the trade-in is really that and the incentives are really the offset, so.
Yeah, they were really close on the other one
Yeah.
too, but,
Yep.
so,
Well, and again, this is also local,
yep.
so. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion, we approve the Moore Farm Store Kubota quote number 695107 for a mower for the wastewater department as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show with the usual sign. It is unanimous. Kitchen.
All right.
You just want him to do his report right now?
That pretty much is my report. What this is, I started out as a goal for one of my staff members, and as Wake was in there doing the restroom remodel, and by talking with the owner, which was on site several days, corresponding and talking back and forth, which was another staff member's goal from last year, but talking back and forth and interacting, very pleased with the gentleman. And so I suggested, talk to him about, because we're talking about the kitchenette that we have in our break room was from the 89-90 construction when that was built. And I've got pictures if somebody wants to see the condition it's in. It's
So
already been
35
tried
years
to
old.
touch up painting on it, and it's time to go. So what this is here is he came in, he looked at it, got the numbers off of it, and it's what we have as a Dwyer unit. And this is a newer one, replacing the old one. They had in here a price to take out the dishwasher that we currently have and then haul away the scrap. I had them delete that because my staff can do that, that's pretty simple stuff. So it originally was $12,423.05. By eliminating those two things, we're saving $570.69, making a final quote of $11,852.36. And this will be a brand new unit countertop sink. Instead of a 3-burner stove, which we have, it'll be a 2-burner stove, new dishwasher, metal. They make them metal, it'll be black with the stainless steel countertop, which will kind of go with other things that we have, and it'll match the coffee maker, the microwave, the refrigerator, things like that. It'll look more uniform instead of uniform, that it's cream colored. Everything else in the room is gray, black, and silver, so. I think it's time to replace it, so.
Yeah.
I know it's last minute, I appreciate you looking at it and talking about it. If you would want to table it and think about it, that's totally up to you guys, I understand. Or if you want to vote, that's fully up to you.
Well, I've been out there, I've seen it, it's not in great shape. Again, 35 years of wear and tear, especially because, I don't,
That's,
It
you
didn't
can choose
feel
every
like-
day, even on the weekends, because,
Yeah.
or 365 days, somebody's there and
Someone's
they
there,
get you,
yeah.
so.
yeah,
I have no problem with it going down.
yep. Good, okay, so I'll make a motion, we approve, the proposal from Wade Contracting, regarding the renovation, to the kitchenette, if you will. I don't have a number on here, so I'll say in a project cost of $11,852.36.
I'll second.
Motion seconded, further discussion. All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're going back to Chip.
Oh, yeah, I would request that we pay Pulver Asphalt $184,540.35 for their first pay app for the Westgate subdivision. This is mainly for the work that they've done on Buckdale, which has kind of had some hiccups, major hiccups, but we're getting there.
And that's been checked over by both the engineers and
Yes.
you as to make sure it's the quantities and everything where it needs to be?
Correct.
Any questions regarding this? Make a motion, we approve. Oh, hold on a second. Pay request number 2 in the amount of $184,540.35. Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show the usual sign. It is unanimous. Next up is trick or treat. Maybe asking, it's June, why are we talking about trick or treat? Because a month ago I started getting questions about when trick or treat's going to be. So that's why we're talking about trick or treat tonight. Historically, as you know, many years ago now, we reached out to the community and kind of surveyed as to what would make the most sense, whether we keep it on the Halloween night that is always moving and changing, sometimes it's on the weekends, but most of the time it's not, or kind of set a more standard, and then if we set a standard, is it the Saturday before, the Saturday after, things like that, what the time frames are, we did all that check. And pretty resoundingly, individuals said we like it to be on a Saturday, and we like it to be 5 to 8 because it allows the little kids who have to go to bed at 6:30 or 7 o'clock to have time to trick or treat, and still allows the bigger kids to go around and stuff. I know the last half an hour, 45 minutes tends to be a little scant of individuals, at least in our subdivision. I don't know if anybody comes to your subdivision.
No one comes.
So in any case, the long story short is so my recommendation is we announce, let's say, trick or treat to be Saturday, October 26th, 2024, from 5 to 8 p.m. Okay, motion and second. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Thank you. Next up is bills.
All right.
There.
I make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $848,934.14 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated June 11th, 2024 for checks.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I make a motion to pay all accounts payable in the amount of $306,391.95 from the allowance of accounts payable vouchers dated June 11th, 2024 for EFT payments.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous.
I make a motion to pay all accounts payable except overtime in the amount of $277,706.29 plus overtime in the amount of $9,562.57 for a total of $287,268.86 for the pay file ending May 31st, 2024.
Second.
Motion seconded. Further discussion? All those in favor show by the usual sign. It is unanimous. Department head reports. Chip.
Eagle Park's plugging along. They're planning on starting sidewalks Thursday. And then hopefully we'll have pavement for the pickleball courts done next Thursday. Then there'll be a month for the asphalt to
Cure.
settle and cure before they can stripe it. So things are moving along there. As I said, Westgate is proceeding forward. The Beyond the Kitchen, the test kitchen, is proceeding forward very quickly. Trail, we are hoping to get that going. We hit a little road bump, but thank you, Mayor, for getting firm hand. And so things are moving quick.
I had to call, well, actually I emailed, but I had to shake a few trees, so.
Yeah.
Questions of Chip? Thank you, Sean.
As Chip said, Eagle Park is moving right along. We've had a crew out there pretty much for the last couple of weeks working on some of that. You guys are doing a great job. You'll see in next meeting, I'm going to bring a proposal for SCADA. We have some upgrades we need to do that directly tie into the north substation project and the 69 kV project that we completed last year. So those quotes are in, and I'll be bringing those to you next meeting. We started work on Jefferson Street and Rolling Hills and Cul-de-sac Avenue. Those are three areas that have had a lot of issues with squirrels and birds and trees, outages. So we're going to rebuild part of the three-phase overhead, and then we're going to bury a lot of the single-phase primary to underground. So it'll eliminate that issue. So we'll make a little bit of a mess while we're doing it, but we'll get it all cleaned up when we're done. It'll be a really good project moving forward. We're done with the staking part of it. I sent requests for quotes out for the boring on that, so hopefully we'll get moving on that very soon. We did approve another rooftop solar customer. I do urge you, if you're thinking about rooftop solar, to reach out to the utility and ask the appropriate questions. So I'll leave it at that. Also, we're preparing to do the street lighting at Westgate. We did go and remove the old wooden street light poles today, which is, those will be replaced with new aluminum poles, which will look a lot nicer than the wooden poles, obviously. So we have materials that are ordered for that project as well, so start working on that in the next couple weeks.
Thank you. Questions of Sean? Thanks, Terry.
Our two new surf lines are both up and operational now, so that's good, that's taken care of. Parts are in for the new pocket parks, lack of a better term for that, but that's a way to get the new Wi-Fi in there, so hopefully in the next week or so we can get that completed. And we discovered two fiber breaks today in our network that Sean and his guys are working on, and hopefully they found at least one of them already this afternoon, and hopefully we'll find the other one tomorrow to be able to get that repaired so we can get that back up. I think that's all I have.
Questions of Terry? Thank you. Mike?
We, there on Buddell, we done the last one, service line going across the road. Saturday, we got one on Westgate Drive, or Boulevard, or whatever it is, Westgate, but we're gonna finish that Thursday, and then we will be done moving water service lines. The sinkhole over here behind Horizon Bank was just an old abandoned cistern or whatever.
Oh, really?
So we filled it with concrete, and we'll
Okay.
put dirt on top of it tomorrow.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking care of that. I wasn't sure if it was an us problem, a bank problem, or who was the problem what it was, so.
We're not really sure, so we just took care of it.
Yep, that's usually what happens. Thank you. Question to Mike. Thanks. Mike?
Larry and I do have something.
Okay.
Skip over restroom. I have photos, if you want to see those, I can bring those up after the meeting. We passed a biomonitoring test for 2024, so that was, well, exciting for us. So that's out of the way for another year. SDI Force Main has been cleaned for the second quarter, that's done. And my staff, hats off to them, brought everything that you could think. They, I tasked one of them as a goal to change a lid out at Columbia Shores. It had about a 2-inch thick steel lids on each side at that lift station. And I thought I was put a new lid in. So we now have a new aluminum lid with fault protection and everything. They had done another station. They went out there Friday morning, got everything together, loaded up, and started at 7. I went over there at 8:45 and they were done.
Well,
They
great.
had it already installed, looks fantastic. So that's upgraded, so now when you open the lid, you don't have an open pitch, you got fault protection on it, so. We've done 2 of those, we've done one last year and we've done one this year. And after doing the first one and this one, they've got it mastered now. The last thing I have is, I got a call from Donahue, Greg at Donahue today. And he has submitted a abstract for the IWEA conference for this year to their committee about the Force Main project at Jefferson and Maine and the issues that we've had on it, the hydraulics, the amount of time that he spent just figuring the hydraulics of this to make it work is amazing. I mean, it's a puzzle. And he's pretty sure that it's going to be accepted, and then he's asked me to come to Indianapolis and speak on the challenges of the project, if I would want to. So I'm debating that, but I may go to Indianapolis and speak on that, so.
That's cool. That's great.
That's all I got. I'm good. And thank you again. It was last minute on those quotes. I'm just trying to wrap some things up. I'll be on vacation at the end of this month, so I appreciate that. Thanks.
Question to Mike. Thank you. Tom?
You're gonna absolutely love the fact that, well, Engine 101 was back at the mechanic today with some broken wires. Where the door swings and it controls all of the windows and interior lights and things like that. Over time of those wires bending, they can only do it so many times and they pop. So Adam came up with a way to fix them and it's back in the firehouse this evening. So I'd just like to say thanks to Adam.
Adam's our city mechanic.
Yes,
For the public.
sorry, got the city mechanic.
Does a great job too, by the way. I'll throw that in.
Yep.
My guys, instead of going into details, I'll just say my guys have been doing some pretty good work, and I'm pretty proud of them right now, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
Colin Harding, our new guy, is doing great. He's only had 3 shifts since he started, but he's fitting in very well. He's a hard worker, and he's eager to learn, so with those 3 things, we can work with that. And I do give him heck about his hair at the end.
He said he gives him heck about his hair.
No.
The new guy.
That's right.
That's pretty much it.
Question to Tom.
That's it.
Thank you. Marcia.
Anything?
Rosie. Couple of department head reports I got for you. Kelly is off preparing to run some ridiculous high mountain running course in what, Wyoming or something like that? Is that right? Wyoming? I think it's Wyoming. It's somewhere out west with lots of topography change, I know that. So anyways, he let me know the concrete crew finished pouring the concrete along Weston Drive for the 50/50 sidewalk. They are working on Line Street, I think, this week. They got all the alleys sprayed with Great Lakes chloride, but there was kind of some issue regarding the amount that was utilized. So Kelly is working with them. I think we used to have a former employee, not a former, I'm sorry, let's try this again. The company had a different person spraying us for many of the past years, and they retired, and a new person came in, and I don't know that what was being put on the sheet was what we were actually getting, but I think it actually worked in our favor, if that makes sense. So anyways, Kelly's working through all that stuff, just so you're aware. They did televising of a storm sewer line on, for I think the water department of North Chauncey, somewhere there. I know Leslie went out to kind of just find out about the department. So yeah, Sheridan, Wyoming, I was right, by the way, to run the Bighorn 100-mile trail run. So best wishes to Kelly on that one. For the Parks Department, all the summer help's now on board. They're trying to get caught up. Maintenance staff's been working on lots of different things now since they have the full staff. I know one of the things that they were working on was the trailhead bathroom off of Whitley Street had some issues, so it was locked up, and had some constituent questions about that. So they were just waiting for a part to get that completed. There was some leaking that was happening, as well as I think there was a mechanism inside the lock that had to be fixed. So if you hear about that, they are working toward that. Because our aquatics director abandoned us, no, I'm just kidding, left us for another opportunity. They've been kind of splitting the duties of the pool among all of the kind of staff, and so he appreciates all the staff stepping up in that regard. And besides that, I know Gary has put out the police position as well as the dispatch position out into the public, so I know we'll start collecting applications for that. From kind of my perspective, I've been working a lot on budgets and on staff evaluations, as I mentioned in the past. We had a really busy day. Yesterday, the Solid Waste Board met and had a pre-proposal conference for recycling hauler, if you will. So that's kind of in process right now. I think that those bids are due by the end of this month, I think, or beginning of July, somewhere in that time frame. So Solid Waste is working on that piece. We are passing out mailboxes to all the new graduates, or soon-to-be graduates, on Friday morning at CCHS, so we're excited about that. Tentatively, right now, I'm planning to do a special taped lunch with the mayor, just question and answer with Linda Hinman, who's the Old Settlers Day president this year, to kind of talk about Old Settlers and how it came to be and what they have planned for this year and all that kind of stuff. Again, that'll be taped, not a live thing, but I think that'll be a really promising thing for people to know what's going on, and I think it's going to happen. A reminder that Wednesday, the 19th, City Hall is closed in honor of Juneteenth. As a federal holiday, we follow the federal schedule, so we'll be out that day on the 19th. But Old Settlers is happening all next week, so we have all the preparations to do on that, water and electric and sewer and all the things, police and fire, etc. So we had met with Old Settlers a couple weeks ago, and I think everyone's pretty much ready to go, unless department heads have any other thoughts, but I think we're pretty much ready to go on that. I think that is all I have to talk about right now. Is there anything else you have? Or anything else that we were talking about here? I think so. Okay, Dan.
I just want to thank Matt, our department, for helping out with our 4-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
That they help with 4-year-old instructionally.
Yes.
And struggling to get some of my players there, and he and the softball staff, board, came down and helped out with that for an hour. So I appreciate them doing that, because without them, oh my goodness. It's been a little interesting trying to corral 16 4-year-olds. So I really appreciate them coming down to help out with that. So
It's a big undertaking,
Yeah.
or a small undertaking, depending on how you look at it. Thank you. Lisa?
Nothing.
Okay, we have no press, we have no audience, we will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you.